Hello and welcome back to What Beats. Last night, rock, paper, scissors, scissors would lose to a stone. A stone would lose to a bomb, which would lose to a fire. Or not. Rock loses to paper. Paper loses to tears. Tears loses to the pupil. The fly. Actually, I'm gonna go with ibex. Which would lose to the fly. And the eye would lose to getting poked. So a twig. A twig would lose to a stick, which loses to squirrels. What beats squirrels? Rebels. Detention. Not going. Handcuffs. Strongman. No, a strongman can't defeat the police. What beats police? Corruption. What beats corruption? I've done Switzerland before, but it's the best thing I've got for beating corruption. What beats Switzerland? Napoleon. I've done Napoleon before. I feel like Poland would beat Switzerland in a war. Oh no, Elizabeth. Paper. Atom. Cell. Amoeba. Now an amoeba would lose to a caterpillar. Which would lose to a beetle. Which would lose to a butterfly. And a butterfly would lose to a spider. Which would lose to insecticide. No, they're kids, but still gonna kill us. What beats insecticide? Plants. They're not insects. What beats plants? Herbicide. What beats herbicide? Animals. Guns. Okay, paper. I like the atoms. So atom to cell to amoeba. What else would an amoeba lose to? Nucleus? Do they have them? What beats nucleus? Let's say cytoplasm surrounds it, which is surrounded by the membrane, which is surrounded by the cell. So this is really coming in handy here. What beats a cell wall? Detergent. What beats detergent? Right. A sink. Right, what beats a sink? Glass. Fist. Something that would hurt to punch but isn't that strong itself. Two short wooden planks. Genius. What beats genius? Stupidity. Phrase. Can't. An argument against this idiot. Right. What beats stupidity? Intelligence. Donald Trump. Yeah, which is why he beats it, right? Is going to go for high scores today. I'm starting with paper, atom, cell, nucleus, cytoplasm, membrane, cell wall, then instead of detergent, I'm gonna go salt here. Sugar. What beats sugar? Stomach. Beats stomach. Diabetes. Insulin. Chemist shutting down. Boots. What beats boots? Football boots with metal studs. Paper. Wait, let's take this even further. Electron. Proton. Okay, I can then do one or the other, so I'm doing protons from now on. Which would lose to the atom itself, the full atom. Which would lose to the cell. And we got nuclear. Cytoplasm. Membrane. Cell wall. Salts. Salt and pepper. Paper. Proton. Atom. Cell. Wait. Gene. DNA. Chromosome. Nucleus. Cytoplasm. Membrane. cell wall. Right, so that's like 311 right there. Which would then lose to salt. Which would then lose to sugar. Which loses to candy floss. Right, candy floss. Tongue. No. Tongue. Right, what beats tongue? Chili pepper. Carolina Reaper. It would lose to a ghost pepper. And a ghost pepper would lose to a knife. Which would lose to a dagger. Which would lose to a sword. Which would lose to a lance. Which would lose to a mace. Which would lose to a shield. Which would lose to a spear. Which would lose to a bow. Which would lose to a pistol. Which would lose to an assault rifle. Which would lose to a sniper. Which would lose to an RPG. Which would lose to a missile. We got to 30. I'm not going the boring way this time. Rock. I reckon it's gonna say loses to pop. I disagree. Rock music. Rock music is better. Paper. Pop music. No. Modern pop music. Rock music. What is rock music? The charts nowadays. Spotify. YouTube. What beats YouTube? Copyright. Nintendo. It's rock. Paper. Paper loses to an essay. Which loses to a teacher. Which loses to a head teacher. Let's give ourselves a free one. The deputy head teacher. Which would lose itself to the head teacher. Which would lose to the schools. The school governors. Which would lose to bankruptcy. Which would lose to money. Which would lose to corruption. No. Inflation. Which would lose to a nail to pop the balloon. Paper. It's teachers, student. What beats student? Deputy, head teacher. Which causes to head teacher. Okay, paper, which would lose to a pencil, which would lose to a pen, which would lose to a fountain pen, which would lose to water, which would lose to a plant, wait, so paper, book, student, maths, teacher, student, rebellion, mass detention. What beats mass detention? Prison. Okay, what beats rock? Strong man. Chiropractor. What beats chiropractor? An actual doctor? Cancer. Okay. What beats rock? Paper. Student. Teacher. Chiropractor. Cancer. Doctor. What beats doctor? Incurable heart disease. Non-fatal. Fatal. Life. Death. Birth. Baseball bat. What beats a baseball bat? A cricket bat. They're bigger. What beats a cricket bat? The batter. Who is to the bowler. Now, what beats a bowler? Cheating. Test. All-time scores. Okay. What about... Yeah, my own star is 50. So the one from it. Leah was third. I'm trophies if I got something third today. Last and I've got a lot of stupid ones here. Yeah. I think Tears with nail, red blood cell with sperm, amoeba with egg, blood cell with plant cell. Principal, if you need to replace ink cartridge, you need to replace ink cartridge, throwing into a third story window, throwing up into a third story window with bungalow, gas leak with eye patch, hunter with adder with on Waterloo with grenade, onside with cancellation, tears with pupil, eye with twig, stick with skull rose, not going with handcuffs, amoeba with caterpillar, membrane with cell wall, this with two-shot wooden planks with genius, insulin with chemist shutting down with boots, candy floss with tongue, chili pepper with Carolina, Reaper, paper with modern pop music with rock music with the charts nowadays with Spotify, head teacher with the school governors with bankruptcy, student with deputy head teacher, student rebellion with mass detention, strongman with chiropractor, teacher with chiropractor, doctor with incurable heart disease. He has incurable heart disease for non-fatal with fatal, but Ola with cheating. Right. What kills child? Gun. What kills gun? Oh. It's what beats rock, but it starts from child instead. What is rarer than waking up? Watching TV. Okay. Omnipotent being counts as all. God. Is that... Yeah, that one just isn't beatable, is it? Okay. What is a crazier challenge than I made a self-driving? Last one to take hand off of house keeps it. Last one to take hands off of moving vehicle keeps it. I survived 24 hours in the world's most unsafe car. Okay, that is the end of this video.